2 straight tournaments. Here we go. Lifetime, it's Graf 8-4. They first met at the French Open semifinals when Monica was a 15-year-old in 1989. She barely escaped in 3.
And then it was those years in 1991, 92 when Monica was so dominant, and it definitely took Steffi by surprise, and she was just sort of coming back into understanding what she was up against when the horrible stabbing occurred. And then, so there was no, it was just, it spoiled both of their careers in many ways.
Seles. So there it is, against one another. But they have not met for over 2 years. 96 U.S. Open final. And Graf was a little tougher than those scores indicate. Monica could not get into that match at all. Delivering her first winner from that side.
But the other interesting thing about all those contests they've played against each other is that they've actually never faced each other across the net here at the Garden.
Yeah, that is strange. Seles winning the first 3, no, not the first 3, but she won 90, 91, and 92, 3 straight titles. Graf has won 5 here.
Terrific stuff.
Monica draws first blood here with a break point.
When you see these two players, such hard hitters, playing well together at the same time, the points are quite awesome.
She has the opening game of this quarterfinal in the chase for the chase title.
No matter.
Can Graf counterpunch? Ooh, oh, gee, she had that.
Yeah, she just caught the top of the ball. Just thinking about Monica Seles and what's so great. There's so many millions of things, but her ground strokes are really, I mean, she pinpoints them. And then we've already seen the return of serve. She just crunched a few, and her opening serve here was very good, and that is a factor. Just out. When she came back in 95, in August 95, she had improved her serve dramatically, and it was just finally a weapon because she opens her shoulders more and reaches up well for the ball.
What a fine serve.
Then she actually had some shoulder problem. That worried her for a long time. She came back in 95, and then all through 96 it kept recurring.
So Monica has the first 2 games.
And Monica, I'm sure, knows that she's got to come out of the gates really quickly tonight, because if she has got limited energy, you have to focus it all at once. It sometimes really works positively for you. Just out. When I'm thinking about Graf's just not quite living with the pace at the moment, and of all the things she's doing well, her timing has been immaculate. She's brimming over with confidence, and her speed around the court is definitely the superior of these two, maybe the fastest player around. I mean, you have to consider that there are some other very speedy players. We were watching Amanda Kutzer yesterday. She's a speedy player, but she lacks in other areas.
So that good jamming serve stopped Seles' run of 8 straight points. 15-all.
If Steffi can execute that slice backhand really effectively and make it bite and stay low, that might cause Monica some problems on this particular court. Beaten by the pace again.
Pace is absolutely right. You can hear it when the ball hits Monica's racket, the way it is rocketing off the racket.
Well, Monica's using a slightly bigger racket. And sometimes I think, you know, for example, at the U.S. Open when it was very lively weather and bright and a bit breezy and that, she lost control of the racket and it was windy there too. But indoors, you know, you're obviously going to be more consistent.
Net cord, no. And another great point. Net cord.
Good.
She got the baseline.
A little close for comfort. Oh. Monica's just a little bit lucky to actually get that ball over the net, but this one from Steffi is, I mean, like just an inch inside the baseline. She needed to give herself a little more margin.
Uh-oh, breaker again. Steffi is at deuce again.
Steffi seems to be going for the backhand side more of Monica's. It's always been difficult to tell which side Monica is better on. She's very even, but she'll have days when one side will go off a little bit more than the other. Just you have to feel your way a bit.
But I think her most phenomenal shots come off the backhand.
Yeah, maybe. I know. Well, yes, I agree with you, Bud, because that's why I think I'm saying I'm sort of surprised that Steffi's played as much to her backhand, because I think she makes a few more errors in general off the forehand side. I don't think she covers the two hands on the backhand quite as well, though. At least Monica can reach out with one hand if she gets really pulled wide on the forehand side.
That's what I mean, but I hope you see it again because it didn't really happen. It didn't. This shot cannot happen. Next one.
And Steffi got herself a little out of position by running around the backhand. She hit a good forehand, and this ball was back. This one right there. It was back before Steffi had even finished hitting her shot.
Third deuce.
So curious to see what plan does emerge out here. Game plan. I mean, this time she really does have to cover a lot of court, and of course that's the only way really to exploit Monica Seles is to make her reach on either side
Advantage for Graf. Her second chance to win the game. And she does. So Steffi Graf is in it, but she is down a service break, and we're sure going to come back right after this. Okay. She's in voice, all right. You can hear it. And she's ahead on a service break, but it's very early.
Then the return of serve was directed at Monica's backhand.
What a stiff volley, and Monica has not had an easy year, losing her father, the gentle, genial Karoy Seles, and she talks about it.
It's been a very hard year for me this year. I mean, I'm not waiting for it to be over, but I won't really miss this year. I think losing my father was very difficult. I mean, it is still very difficult. At the same time, losing my coach, too, kind of in my game, I've been kind of having a tougher time with that. So, but I've been going through an adjustment, a lot of adjustments. It's been a very transitional year. I think I've played very well under the conditions that I had to deal with, and just really looking forward to next year and hopefully having a little bit more of a peaceful year.
A very strong game, winning it at love, and that second point, I think that's the best volley I've ever seen Monica hit. It was stiff and winning.
And Monica really does know how to volley, especially in the forehand. I love her volley.
Oh, yeah. It's 1-3. And when Monica talked about losing her coach, she meant her father, too. It's not only losing him, dying just before the French Open, cancer, after a just gallant fight he made. He was her coach. He raised her to be a tennis player, but only if she wanted to be a tennis player. She didn't at first. Then she said her brother brought home a trophy, and she said, "Where'd you get that?" Tennis trophy. She said, "Oh, I want one of those."
Well, you know, there were always those great stories about her father, who was a cartoonist, painting funny pictures on the balls and getting her to thump them and encouraging her that way. And he was just a lovely man. And everybody was, you know, really surprised that she managed to get herself together and play the French. But one of the reasons was that she talked about it a lot. You know, just in the interview, you know, she just was able to talk, and she would even say that herself.
Oh, now it's getting serious for Graf. Down 1-3, down triple break point.
Well, it's not surprising to find Monica Seles just outgunning somebody. But I thought Steffi would be very ready for the pace.
That's long. That's long. One breaker vanishes, but another one replaces it. Still not. First chance for Agatha Fortescue Tagliani. And a third break point, and what a huge point it is.
It's an absolute shock when Monica just tamely hits the return in the net.
games to 1. And she's a dynamite doll tonight. You want to hear some explosions from the dynamite doll? Wear your earplugs.
Yeah, just regular pace. Watching her at that point, the last point of the previous game. Tremendous hitting and good footwork.
15 love. I remember the night that Joe Frazier with his great left hooks knocked Muhammad Ali down right on this floor, and this is the kind of stuff that Monica's given us. She's smoking. Net court. Steffi.
Steffi's looking very concerned out there.
Wouldn't you be?
Doesn't know what's hit her or what's hitting her.
This is not the Monica she saw the last time 2 years ago at Flushing Meadow.
There are ways of playing Monica, but if you get a chance, she's not giving you a chance to even get in the match at the moment.
Ooh. She opened that up. Went to the strength of Graf and then B.
Inside the baseline, just hitting everything within herself. Very straightforward. Very early.
40-15. Better not let her stand inside that baseline.
She's only lost 1 point of serve. That last point, and that was only because the ball hit the tape and bounced up and short.
Big point for Fräulein forehand. If she could force a deuce, push her way back in here.
And Steffi actually just squeezed the ball down the middle of the court. And that takes away the angle, of course. And that might be the thing to try to do. But
Ooh, she got hooked.
the serves are good. Nearly 80% of her first serves are going in.
Wow, 5-1. Mike Crispino, please.
But in Virginia, it might be an indication of how aggressive each of these players is feeling early in this match. Watch Monica on return of serve. She's taking it inside the baseline. Steffi about 3 feet behind the baseline on Monica's serve.
Okay, it's 1-5 if you are Steffi Graf.
I know, it's quite a scary sight if you're serving and Monica's on the other side.
Oh, no! I mean, it's like she's hitting the ball out of her hand like it's a fungo.
Quick, another look. Let's see it in slow motion.
There ain't no slow motion out here to that kid. It's love 15, 1-5. Well, I thought Graf would win this match.
I must
And
say,
she hasn't lost it yet, but
judging by the way Monica's generally played in the latter part of this year, she just hasn't looked as if she's been able to cover the court. But tonight, she is so on. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
Oh, she's tearing holes in that court. You look for divots in the grass court, but I bet there's some in this thing, this plastic rug.
They're just odd days when you see the ball like a football and you can't do anything wrong. Every time she's moving forward.
Set points all over the place.
Steffi actually really needs one game here. So that at least it gives her a little bit more chance to start off the second set feeling a tiny bit more confident. At this rate, it just could be curtains in no time. Oh, look at that. Oh, all right.